Malahide club. Has also played some cricket with Durham in the north of England. Fine young prospect. You mentioned, Greg, your role as an Irish selector involves you great bit of fielding there from the Irish. Peter Chase bowling perhaps a little short.
Yeah, I think it's a tactic that Chase will sort of try and employ against Shahzad. Shahzad is not your typical cricketer. Always will be up for the challenge of the short ball.
Mighty fine cricketer, mind you.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Certainly he doesn't hold back as he tries to smack another one through the covers, ends up getting an edge down to third man.
And so, in terms of your watching cricket, I suppose that just entails you going around the various grounds, and in your case, mainly the Leinster grounds.
It does indeed, and it's quite fortunate I live in Goatstown, which is quite close to a lot of the... There we have a lovely wicket.
And there's our first wicket of the morning. Peter Chase in his first over. Strikes, and the Afghanistan total 28, and now with the loss of 1 wicket. Zadran not happy. Gets an edge through to the keeper, Stuart Pointer, who's kept exceptionally well in this series, and Zadran just banging his bat in disgust off the ground.
I think going back to selecting and finding players for the future, I think, and has done really well and has been a great addition to the Leinster Lightning team with the variation that he has of the height and the pace. And it's something we need. We need guys coming through into the Irish setup who can take wickets. It's all very well coming along and bowling nice and tidily, which Murtagh does, but we need the balance of somebody like Murtagh and a Chase or a Barry McCarthy who tend to sort of hit the pitch hard. And both Chase and McCarthy have shown that they are picking up wickets. They may be a bit expensive, but wickets are important in one-day cricket. And going forward to Test cricket, hopefully that is coming through. We need guys to take wickets.
And so Peter Chase bowling to the incoming bat, who is Ramit Shah, 23 years of age. Has played just 12 ODIs. However, had a really good series in Scotland, having scored 100, not out in that Scottish series. So a man in good form. Bat in hand, ball in hand. Come on, Dad, chuck a few at me. Here comes Murtagh to Shahzad. Another fine bit of keeping there by Stuart Pointer.
A lot of people would say I don't tend to bowl too much to him. Generally send him off to the nets where he can find some other guys and kids to bowl to him. I think as a role as a Leinster Lightning selector, if I was to turn up and spend time at the nets, I might get a bit of grief from not watching enough cricket. That's my excuse anyway.
Yeah. Happy balance, Greg. Yeah. Selecting, bowling, dadding. The complete all-rounder. Shahzad just running it down to third man, Barry McCarthy. Barry, who recently came into the Irish side, getting his first cap earlier on this year in the Sri Lankan series, did exceptionally well and has continued his fine form here in Stormont.
Yeah, I think what's great about the cricket and the increase in fixtures, coupled with the unfortunate fact that we're missing a few guys through injury. Craig Young's not about for this series. Boyd Rankin's obviously playing in Warwickshire just for this series, but it sort of allowed players to to be brought into the squad and give them an opportunity, because I think if we're to take the game further in Ireland, we need to increase the playing base of individuals across all three formats. We can't sort of start picking just from 12 or 13. We need to sort of get it up to 18, 19 people who we feel are capable of stepping up. And this series certainly is going to give the likes of Chase, McCarthy, Stuart Pointer, Sean Terry continuity of experience at this level.
Shazad rocking back and pulling it out to the mid-wicket boundary. 2 runs to the total.
If we look at the squad we have here, and you sort of add in a Craig Young, Boyd Rankin, Niall O'Brien,
Andrew Balbirnie.
Andrew Balbirnie hopefully will come back next year. We're 4 extremely capable players to come in and make our job as selectors even more difficult, and that's a good position to be in.
Absolutely. Murta into Shazad. Shazad trying to work it through mid-wicket. Smart work on the part of Paul Sterling, making sure there's no single. Paul Sterling, who plays such an important role for Ireland. A different role, Greg, the last couple of games.
Yeah,
coming in at 6. Thought he was fantastic last Thursday, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Sterling coming in at 6 sort of gives us both experience and an ability to sort of really bring home a game of cricket. We were in a situation, unfortunately, in the first game where, you know, it didn't come off of Kevin and Paul Sterling, but I think both Kevin and Paul, coupled with the great knock that Ed Joyce had on Thursday, show great depth to our batting and great versatility. And certainly Paul Sterling learnt, and you sort of say maybe he should have learnt earlier, but like he sort of learnt from the knock that he had the previous game of how to finish the game, and batted with great maturity. And that's what we sort of want. We sort of want a lovely cover drive there.
Quality shot. Ramit Shah just driving Peter Chase through the covers.
Yeah, it wasn't quite there for him, but he sort of played it on the up, probably a bit too much width, but I think the line he's bowling is still to be encouraged with 2 slips. I think it's important as a bowler, you're sort of hitting the areas that you sort of want to be hit, you know. He's been hit for 4, but he hasn't been pulled through mid-wicket. He's been driven on the up. And there again, a lovely back of a length delivery. Great carry to Stuart Pointer.
You talk about the great carry there, Greg. I just got to mention the head groundsman, Philip McCormick, who, given the circumstances and the amount of rain that he's had to deal with over the last couple of weeks here in Belfast, has produced some quality wickets. Well done to Philip, well done to his team. As Greg has just said, terrific carry from Chase, who comes in again, right arm over the wicket. Push nicely through mid-wicket. McCarthy gathers, delivers. Pointer taking above his head.
Just going back to the Paul Sterling, we're obviously chasing a moderate total on Thursday last. He also gives us great power should we be chasing, you know, a 300 plus type score. So we sort of find ourselves, you know, in one day cricket needing some power hitters towards the sort of middle of the innings, and having Kevin and Paul Sterling at 5'6" gives us that. Because very often in one-day cricket, 270, 280 is a score that is often a score that one has to chase. In the two previous ODIs, being honest, we probably should have won the first ODI comfortably had we batted a bit smarter towards the end of the innings, and obviously won comfortably on Thursday. It would have been quite interesting to see Ireland bat first here today and put the pressure on them to actually set a total. So based on what's happened the last two games, it's history repeating itself. The Afghan team batting first. Ireland hopefully here again will restrict them to below 250 and will be confident in chasing that target.
Yeah. Murtagh from the city end. Tim Murtagh getting his 50th cap for Ireland today. Wonderful achievement. I have to say, one of the things I love about Tim Murtagh when the batsman plays the ball back to him is the quality of his footballing skills. Obviously pretty useful at keepy-uppy is our Tim. Well, probably hoping that Martin O'Neill is keeping an eye on him.
I think with Tim, he probably gets the ball hit back to him quite a lot because of the line and length he's bowled. He tends to just bowl very much an Angus Fraser Middlesex line. He's so dependable on. Here again we have Pointer coming up to the wicket to Shazad with the deep square leg back. An interesting shot there by Shazad. I'm not sure the end result is exactly where it was intended. I think slightly over the trees to the cow corner area was where he did indeed try and hit the ball.
Just taking a single. Afghanistan 41 for 1. We're in the 9th over. Oh, an opportunity there.
Yeah, very unlucky there.
Murtagh, always difficult in the bowlers follow through. Diving to his left, very nearly taking the second wicket of the day. The first wicket to fall, Nur Ali Zadran. Bold chase, caught Pointer.
Sort of leading edge there. I think it's always difficult for a bowler when there's a leading edge. You sort of tend to switch off as a bowler because you don't expect the ball to be coming back to you, as he sort of tried to glance it through mid-wicket. And
delighted to be joined in the commentary box this morning, our first contributor. And my reason for mentioning brothers, how is Jason?
Yeah, well, Jason is good. He's actually, after spending the guts of 17, 18 years in London, has decided to come back to Dublin. He's back in Dublin since October with his family and 3 kids. And I think he's delighted, a bit like myself, who's living in Dublin. The great thing about Dublin is the small community of cricket, and he's now got him back in Dublin watching cricket again. Brings the family down to watch a bit of cricket. And listen, like myself, cricket is in the blood, and cricket is certainly in his blood, and he enjoys watching cricket. I've no doubt he'll get back involved in some form with cricket. I'm not sure from a playing point of view, but he still talks about playing.
Wouldn't mind nabbing him.
Yeah, he might help out in the YM team at the moment, the way you're batting.
Steady, steady up. Greg just getting a little excited here this morning. That's allowed.
That's a lovely shot.
Glorious cricket shot.
Again, I don't mind that too much. At least it's, you know, the one side of the wicket. He's bowling to a 6-3 offside. And we have Paul Sterling now moving out from the slip region, you know, to fill that cover region. Sometimes you got to take your hat off to the batsman playing a decent shot, and at the end. It was a good shot there.
It was a quality shot. Great to see so many Afghanistan flags flying in the breeze this morning. Great to see such a good crowd in. Chase in. Just pushed to Ed Joyce. Quality innings by Ed last Thursday, Greg.
I mean, Ed is a cricketer that every team around the world would love to have in their team at the moment. He's just, while it's coming towards the twilight of his career, is very much like a bottle of red wine. He seems to be getting better.
Yep, let's hope the twilight continues for some time to come.
I think what it also adds to the team, having him up at the top of the order, is a steady rock that if he does, you know, carry his bat for the innings, it allows the likes of Sterling and Kevin O'Brien to get on with things towards the latter part of the innings. And again there, unfortunately, Peter finishing off the 10th over with a half volley outside off stump that was put away nicely through the covers.
I have to say Rahmat Shah has looked a quality cricketer here this morning. Is a quality cricketer. Just off the back of a really successful series for him in a personal context in Scotland. Moving briskly on to 17 is Rahmat Shah, bringing the 50 up for Afghanistan. 50 for 1. Just replacing Tim Murta now from the City End, the captain of the Northwest Warriors, Andy McBride. Andy, a really good cricketer.
It should be an interesting passage of play here. I know the first two games they certainly didn't allow Andy to settle in, and sort of felt it is a bit like the Pakistan batsmen in the current Test match. They looked at Moeen Ali as somebody that they wanted to sort of take on and take out of the attack, and the first two ODIs here, Andy McBride was certainly targeted, but I've no doubt the experience of playing against these two guys, this team, the last two games, will be good for Andy. I think sometimes
busy, buzzy cricketer is Andy.
Yeah, I think sometimes as a spinner though, it's you sort of enjoy the fact that they are taking you on, because when they do take you on, it gives you the option of taking wickets. I know some people say, well, it might give you an opportunity of being hit out of the park, but I've no doubt he'll come through here.
Just bringing a slip into play here, Paul Sterling.
Superb fielding there by the skipper, I think it is.
No, Sean Terry.
Sean Terry. Not surprised, Heatley, you spotted that with ease.
Greg Mullins, Irish selector, in great form this morning. And why shouldn't he be? On the back of a really good result last Thursday. A positive display by the Irish team.
Yeah, I mean,
levelling up the series.
I think it was great to, you know, we had plans in place how to chase the total down, and you have the likes of Ed Joyce, Kevin O'Brien, Paul Sterling coming to the party.
Sterling to Shazad. And just as we talk about the quality of spinning of Paul Stirling, he picks up the hugely important wicket of Mohammad Shahzad, caught in the deep by Sean Terry, and that will fill Terry full of confidence. It'll fill his captain full of confidence. A good start, Greg, this here for Ireland.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I think it's something that the Afghanistan batsmen will do against our off spinners, as I said in the previous over. And that delivery, Shahzad really wasn't to the pitch, committed to it, and probably got the toe end of the bat, and Terry took a good running catch, something that he would have expected to take, and thankfully he did. But it's great to see the back of Shahzad, because he's made it quite difficult for the Ireland bowlers the first two games because of his unorthodox way of batting. He tends to hit it in areas that are difficult to defend against.
The incoming batsman for Afghanistan, Sami-ullah Shinwari.
The skipper has certainly had the Midas touch from the Dundonald end so far. His first change of bowling earlier in the day was Peter Chasen in his first over, got a wicket, and again we have Stirling coming on and taking a wicket also in his first over. Maybe he should consider Heatley bowlers from this end bowling one over spells.
May not be a bad call. As Greg Mullins has said correctly, it's Chase with 1 wicket, Paul Stirling with 1 wicket.
The interesting thing is what he does at the other end with Murtagh. Murtagh's spells in both the first two ODIs and his first spells have been extremely economical. Rather than getting too many wickets, he certainly kept it tight, and you sort of wonder, is he a bowler who should probably bowl out his overs, or